So ATP, or adenosine triphosphate, is made up of 3 parts. The name is really, this adenosine is 2 of the parts. So if you draw an arrow here, and you draw an arrow here, that makes up adenosine. Who can name these parts for me? Good. Ribose and make up adenosine. Adenine and ribose together combined form adenosine, or are known as adenosine. And then the triphosphate is referencing what? 3 phosphates. Good job. Yes. ATP is the chief energy storing molecule for what? Raise your hand if you could tell me.
Organelles.
Okay. Organelles are found where?
Any life form.
No. Organelles are where? In the cell. ATP is for the cell. It's to run any process in the cell. And last unit, we learned about a process that requires energy in order to happen. What was it? Yes, but not that. Last unit, we learned about a process where molecules move from low to high.
Diffusion.
Active. Passive, no energy. Active requires energy. What energy they use is ATP. When a molecule has to go through the cell membrane from low to high, ATP is what takes it there. That's the energy. A lot of reactions require energy. So ATP production is super duper duper important in the cell. And the energy in ATP, remember how it says, chief storing molecule, storing. All energy is stored right here in these bonds. So in between, I'm sorry, there's a little bit here, a lot here, a lot here. Some here, I'm sorry, a lot here. In between the phosphates, there's energy. The most energy lies in that last, between the 2nd and 3rd phosphate. So the tail that's hanging on. Okay, so how is this energy released? Is the next slide.
They detach.
A phosphate goes away. Watch this animation. You see, let's wait till it goes back together. Right now, that's not ATP. Now this is ATP. The energy is right here, energy bond. When it detaches, you have energy being released, and what else?
The triphosphate turning into a diphosphate.
Awesome. It ends up being a molecule called ADP, which is adenosine diphosphate. And if you want to write that down, go ahead. Adenosine diphosphate. Plus energy is poured out, and a little P, or a phosphate, stays hanging. And then what happens? It goes back together, because that molecule is attracted to that molecule, so they always come back together somehow. Okay, so I drew this with you. What did I just draw? ATP, okay? Adenosine triphosphate. What does this circle represent? Adenine. What does the little house represent? Ribose. And I promise you on the test, ribosome is going to be on there. Not as a dig, but it's ribose, not ribosome. What are my orange circles?
The 3 phosphates.
3 phosphates. Take a moment and label your ATP molecule. All right, so far I have 3 labels. I want 2 more labels on here. If I drew this on the test, and I went like this, then I said, what does this represent? What are you going to say? Good job. Adenosine. If I drew this on the test, and I went like this, what am I drawing? Nope. What? Energy bonds. Good job. Now, if energy is going to be released, what am I going to draw down here? Who could tell me?
ATP broken.
So if ATP breaks, what am I drawing down here?
Take away phosphate.
What am I drawing if I take away a phosphate? Adenosine diphosphate plus energy being poured out plus a phosphate. Let's draw that. To sum up our drawing, when ATP breaks off a phosphate, a lot of energy is released, a phosphate gets left over, and ADP is made. And then later, it comes back together to form ATP, and it's like a cycle that goes on and on and on and on. So the question is, where does this ATP come from? And that is to be continued.